What are some of your interests and hobbies, my man?
My interests and hobbies, man. Listen, man, I got a problem, dog. So like, I get bored of things easily, dog. So like, this whole media thing was not like the starting point of like my like career and shit. Like when I went to college, man, I was a pilot. I used to fly planes in college, and then they got too expensive. I realized it was a rich white man sport, and I was taking out too many loans.
Yeah.
So I switched communications, and I just advanced to that. I feel like I advanced things I do. I advanced to communications in that department, and then I went to media. I learned how to work with cameras and things of that nature, which I always been into cameras and like being behind media and like stuff like that. I always want to be in front of a camera and stuff. And so, my hobbies right now though is mostly like I don't know, man, writing. You know what I'm saying? Working on this magazine. Just actually my newest hobby is taking photos, man. Like when I started doing this magazine, like I never worked with a camera before. Like, well, never been a photographer for real.
Right.
But part of like our big scheme of like advertisements, we go to like parties and things of that nature, and we'll take photos of people in attendance, or whatever, and hand out cards, which helps create awareness for the magazine. But with that also too, we go to concerts and take photos, which I've taken photos for like a lot of like big name artists, like NBA YoungBoy, 6ix9ine. I was like I was dope to get 6ix9ine right before he like got locked up and everything. He came to Louisville. I met him up close in person and shit, and what I'm saying, things of that nature. But yeah, man, that's my hobbies right now. I feel like I really get into this photography bag, but I really like it. I feel like it's a lot of avenues you can get into with that. And I'm also doing interviews and stuff with people for the Mix magazine. And I really like interviewing people and talking to people. So I like this right here. This is dope. It's a dope platform to be able to talk to people and other nature like that. And yeah, man, it's probably my biggest hobby right now, doing interviews and photography right now with the magazine.
So I know you mentioned like communication and like photography and journalism all together. It's like something that you're really interested in.
Yeah.
Where did like this interest in the media in the media business come from? Like, how did you even get into all of this? Like, what sparked the brain to say, I want to try this out?
Man, I just stumbled upon it, when I switched to that communications department in EKU, when I went to EKU, Eastern Kentucky University, I didn't get an internship. And I happened to, like, know some people that was in radio, like one of the biggest radio stations in Lexington, the one on the beat, with the biggest hip-hop R&B station in Lexington or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I happened, like, my granny happened to know the dude who, like, runs it, whatever, and got in connection with him, and he got me on to intern the radio. I did that for like 2 years, whatever, and I was dope. I got to like go to with the Janet Jackson concert. I met Ice Cube in person and stuff like that. Like I hung out with my Ice Cube for like a whole day.
Really?
That shit was lit. Yeah. He came to the station and was like, doing like interviews like throughout the whole day with like all this. He had that big three. He had the big three that came to Lexington Rep Arena.
Yeah.
And so he had. I was pressed because they didn't bring Allen Iverson, and I have an Allen Iverson MVP card that I wanted him to sign, but he didn't show up.
Did any other players come?
Yeah, a lot of players came, but like Allen Iverson didn't come. He was supposed to be one of the big three players, but I was hurt about that. But still, I forgot. I kind of got off topic of what was the question again.
It's more so how'd you get into the media business? You was talking about like how you was working
the interns what got me into it for. But I've always had an interest in media and things of that nature. I've always been like big in like recording things. I always want to do a YouTube channel, but like I recently started one, but like back in the day I didn't. But I always wanted to though, and. So, I got in the radio. I seen what he was doing behind there, and I really, like, took interest in it. And I had a friend who started a satellite radio station. And he seen when I was doing it as an intern at the big radio station downtown. He's asked me if I want to jump on. Before I knew it, first he had me behind the scenes, like, working the board and shit of that nature. And then before I knew it, I had my own radio show, and I had, like, 2 co-hosts and all that. We was having, like, interviews, like, every week. Shit was dope. It was dope. At one point in time, we had our own office and everything, but it kind of went downhill, we kind of split ways, he's a DJ too, DJ Knockout, shout out to him, put me on to, it was Ground to Shine Radio at the time, and, he had other adventures he wanted to do, so, we kind of parted ways with that, and then from there, I have a cousin who actually ran the Mix magazine. It was a published magazine for like 10 years, and she did like hella dope shit with it, and she like seen what I was doing with the radio and all that in this media period, and she asked me if I would be interested in running the magazine for her. And I was like, I know nothing about a magazine, but I'm always into researching. So, I researched, things of that nature about magazines and that, and I was like, I took it upon myself to take it on, and I feel like I've been successful at it with like not knowing anything about it at first, but learning so much as I've been going along.
Just learning on the fly, basically.
Learning on the fly, yes. It's what I do. It's what I do. Yeah. When I went to EKU to fly planes, I never been on the airport nor been on the plane when I made that my major. I just thought it was a dope thing to do. And
I used to do something like that too.
Yeah.
Actually, my freshman year, I took like the aviation class. It was like
Yeah.
a little summer program I did like before my freshman year in high school in Louisville.
uh-huh.
It was like in West Louisville and Shawnee. It was
That's
all
dope.
right because like you like just the thought of like flying planes is just
Yeah.
cool, especially with us being black. Like you think about like,
Right.
the Tuskegee
Yeah.
Airmen.
There's only like 4 of us in that whole program out of like 100 people.
Yeah, so it's just like
But
a
yeah.
cool concept, man.
Yeah, it was a dope concept. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. But I figured I'd rather be rich enough to where I can make it my hobby rather than my actual job. So like I know a lot of people who like flying's a hobby. I'm like, shit, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want money like that. But yeah, so going back to I just took it upon myself to take it on, and I was like, this would be a good way to build myself and like learn different skills. And I'm always open to learning different things. So I took it upon myself to do that, and here I am.
So I heard you mention talk about the Mix magazine. Like, talk about like what have you have done so far since you joined. I know you said a family relative of yours kind of got you into.
Yeah,
it.
well, I'll give you the backstory of the Mix magazine. So the Mix magazine, my cousin Kia Snowden made the Mix magazine 10 years ago. She started it up in like 2012, 2010. And she had a lot of connections, so she used that, and basically she would like travel to different cities and like take photos of people and like build the awareness that way. And it was sold out throughout the East Coast, and like she did interviews with like she did Future's first ever magazine interview and cover, like ever. Like when he first came out with Rex and Rex and Rex in Atlanta, like before anybody knew who Rex and Rex and Rex was or who Future was. He was at AC3. It was a festival, and she like ended up doing. She covered the festival actually for the magazine. The magazine covered the whole festival, and she interviewed and covered with Future. And like a year later, he blew up, and he's like one of the biggest like rap artists right now.
Yeah.
And she also like interviewed Meek Mill and Wale when they first signed to MMG, like when they first out the gate, like first signed. Like she did like in-depth interviews with them and a whole article on them.
I'm big fan of them. I've been rocking this since I was in middle school.
And now they blow up. She did an article with Mac Miller, and RP Mac Miller, like you know what I'm saying. She did, but her projection for like the magazine, her whole concept was up and coming. She was doing up and coming artists, businesses of that nature, and different things like that. It was a lifestyle magazine, so she would also go to like different clubs in different cities and like take photos, hand out cards, things of that nature, whatever, to put up her awareness. And it was sold from like New York all the way to Miami, all out the East Coast, whatever. And she did that for 10 years, but people don't buy hard copy magazine anymore. It's not a real thing. People don't go like to the store and buy hard copy magazines. Everything's online. So she switched into online, and she seen what I was doing, and she asked me if I want to take on her online magazine. I was like, yeah, So I took it upon myself to take that on, and since I started, we did a couple of festivals and things of that nature. Did a Fort Castle 2 years in a row in Louisville.
Did you do it this year?
Yes, I did this year
Okay.
too. Did a random festival called Rump Fest, which was like actually dope. It's funny because it was bluegrass music. It was the biggest bluegrass festival in the country.
Really?
And there was like 80,000 people out there.
Was it here in Lexington?
No. It was in Bowling Green, I think.
Okay.
No, not by Bowling Green. Maybe it was Bowling Green. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that.
All right.
But all I know is 80,000 people out there, and I was kind of sketchy. I'm a black man.
I'm about to say, in that kind of environment. I've been in something like that before.
Yeah, but
man.
they was cool as a motherfucker. They was cool as hell, for real. Like I was glad. If I know, I'm bringing 10 out there, 10 camped out myself, for real. If I knew how cool they was, for real. And if people kept saying out there, we're not like country music people. We're different than because like I thought going up there, I would see nothing but like Trump 2020 hats everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
MAGA, you see them everywhere.
I ain't seen that one Trump 2020 hat. 8,000 people out there, and but it was really nothing but like RVs everywhere. It's like hella RVs. Most people came out there to get drunk.
Really?
But, they had a big concert and shit. And we took photos and like did interviews with like people out there. So that was a dope experience. And I've been able to like go to a hella different concerts. I've taken photos. Like first when I first took it on. I had nobody really. I had no writers, no photographers. So basically, I was just doing everything myself. So that's when I picked up the craft of photography. Bought my own camera and just winged it basically. But I got good at it for real. I've been to see all the artists I've taken photos of, like T Grizzly, 6ix9ine, NBA YoungBoy, Dirk, Webby, yeah. Jacquees, yep.
Jacquees.
Who else, man? Lil Baby. Man, like, yeah, I mean, it's been a dope experience, being to work for the magazine, doing this, editor-in-chief and things of that nature, and I'll be able to, like, do a lot of networking. Magazine's very good for networking, for sure, It's really helped me out with, like, meeting different people and, like, figuring out different avenues of where I want to go in this media, department. 'Cause I really don't know, I'm still just, like, dabbling, but I feel like, this position I have right now is definitely a good building block for where I want to go and where I want to see the magazine go.
So I know with you, like, dabbling around with all types of stuff in media, what's been like what's been like your favorite thing to do when it comes to media? Like whether it be with like camera work, like shooting for like being a photographer, or writing a journalist. Like what's been your favorite?
I feel like my favorite thing to do is interviewing people. Actually, actually like being able to interact with people and like talk to people. I really like that. I really like talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Figuring out things. And I like editing videos and creating content too.
Okay,
for sure. That's probably like my favorite thing to do. Like if I could, I'd probably be like like main game. Probably I think I want to like work for Viceland for real. That's like really what I want to do.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah, I really like the channel Viceland. That's really a dope.
What about Complex? You looking into that too?
Complex, yeah, I like Complex too. The magazine, yeah, for sure. Yeah.